It's a cool night here in downtown Cincinnati on this Friday evening, but make no mistake, there will be baseball as the Reds try to keep it rolling. It's the second game of this four-game series. The Miami Marlins, the Cincinnati Reds, here on Fox Sports Ohio. Hi, and a pleasant good evening, and welcome to Reds baseball. Along with Chris Welsh, Jim Couch, we're at Great American Ballpark. This Reds team doesn't want to stop playing now. Things are going too well. They come into this game having won 4 in a row. Pitching has been very good. Defense has been very good. And, Chris, in these last 2 games, boy, the offense has really gone
well,
great.
You know, the offenses really couldn't do anything wrong in the last couple of games. But during this 4-game winning streak, all at home, of course, the Reds are in the middle of a 10-game homestand. The team batting average over 310. They're averaging nearly 7 runs a game. You combine that with an earned run average down about 1.2, and you're not even giving the opposition a chance to breathe out there. It has been an outstanding performance from both sides for this Reds ball club.
When you talk about the team ERA of 1.25, the guy going tonight, Matt Latos, surprisingly having a very good April as we take a look at the pitching matchup for tonight's game.
Well, historically, and you're exactly right, he is a guy that has struggled in the month of April. He struggled last April when he first came over from San Diego to this Reds ball club, but he's throwing the ball extremely well now, and you really should have had a little bit of an insight to that starting back in spring training. He worked very hard over the winter to find his arm slot. He's throwing the ball very well, and right now the only thing the starting pitchers can't control is whether they get wins or losses. The Reds have not scored a lot of runs for Matt Latos. That's why he's winless on the year, but he has a couple of quality starts. Kevin Slowey, he's a guy that you might remember from those days as a Minnesota Twin. He's a high fastball pitcher, gives up a lot of fly balls in this ballpark. That may be trouble for the Marlins starter.
Well, we'll see what we can find out of Kevin Slowey tonight. Longtime American leaguer, as Chris said, never worked against the Reds in his 8-year Major League career. All right, we'll step aside when we come back. Don't push that panic button. No need to worry about number 19. That's Joey Votto.
By authority of the Cincinnati Reds, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Second game of this series tonight, the Reds and the Miami Marlins, as the Reds won big last night, 11-1 the final score. Meanwhile, the weather not nearly as nice as it is in other parts of the country. Here, it's kind of cool. Let's take a look at the weather for tonight's game, brought to you by Eric Dieter's attorney at law. Here's our good friend Tim Hedrick.
Oh, the boys are going to have to warm up good tonight. Game time temperature, some 32 degrees colder tonight. It was 76 last night, 44 game time tonight. There could be a few sprinkles as well. Heading for home, about 40 degrees. And when they crush that ball, ooh, it's going to sting. Enjoy the game on Fox Sports Ohio.
See, Tim needs to put on his batting gloves. How about this guy, Joey Votto, Chris?
Well, Joey Votto, a lot of people looking at what he's done so far in the season saying, where's Joey Votto? Why isn't he driving runs in? Well, one thing he is doing is getting on base. You look at the on-base percentage of .526, the number of walks he's had, 24. I mean, he's just about walked about twice as much as he has struck out this year. So what Votto is not being done is being pitched to. And rather than chasing pitches out of the zone and make himself easy outs, Votto is getting on base and giving Brandon Phillips a chance to drive him in. You saw what he did last year through the first 16 games, through this year through the first 15 games. You know, he didn't have very many home runs last year at this time. This year he's got fewer runs batted in, but boy, the walks are up, the on-base percentage is up, and right now with the Reds winning, who is complaining?
Yeah, so no reason to push the panic button, that's for sure. Well, the Reds last year won 5 in a row as their longest winning streak. They look to equal that tonight if they can get a victory over this Miami Marlins bunch in the second game of this 4-game series. Ohio was brought to you by the Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling truck in America, 36 straight years. By Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Book your stay at CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good. It's Skyline time. Reds and the Marlins, as fans are here at the ballpark tonight. You had to bring those winter jackets, though, because it's going to get a little bit cooler, as you heard Tim Hedrick say. There's the manager of the Marlins, Mike Redmond. He's in a jacket. This is his first year at the helm of this Marlins franchise. Here's the lineup that he will send out there tonight. Juan Pierre gets the start in left field. Placido Polanco and Giancarlo Stanton, the top three. Then it's Joe Mahoney, Justin Ruggiano, and Rob Brantley. The bottom three, just up from AAA, Nick Green will play short. Donovan Solano And the right-hander is Kevin Slowey on the mound. Here's the Reds right-hander, Matt Latos.
Matt Latos looking for #1 is in the win column. You see the good earned run average. He's pitched a lot of innings in his first 3 ball games, but has not had a lot of run support. So maybe tonight the Reds will be able to solve it for him, and he'll put 1 in the win column.
He delivers the first pitch of this game, and it is right in there for a strike, and we are underway from Great American Ballpark. Juan Pierre, Placido Polanco, Giancarlo Stanton face this right-hander. Pierre tried to hold up there, could not, and Latos quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he served him up a fastball, served him up a breaking ball, and back in the day when Juan Pierre was original member of one of the early Florida Marlins teams, he was being served by Matt Latos in a different way. Matt Latos worked at a restaurant called the Peking Tokyo, and he was a waiter and a trainee hibachi chef. And little did Juan Pierre know that years later he'd be serving up 95-mile-an-hour fastballs instead.
Boy, now I'm telling you what, that is some major research right there.
Well, I talked to Juan Pierre about that before the ball game. Of course, you learn the lesson of trying to talk to Matt Latos on a game he pitches. He doesn't like that, like a lot of pitchers don't. But
right.
It was interesting because Juan Pierre found that out when Latos later came and became a major leaguer with the San Diego Padres. I asked him about the restaurant. He goes, "Yep, I was in there 4 or 5 times. In fact, I signed something for one of Matt's aunts."
There's a swing and a miss. Pierre with a half-hearted effort there. Looked like he thought something else was on the way. And Pierre a strikeout victim to get this game started.
A little duck sauce with that fastball. Maybe that's what Latos is thinking right now. That's good location, good action. One thing that is somewhat unique for Matt Latos is that he gets that kind of run on a fastball with a very much overhand delivery. You don't see that happen very often.
He'll face now the third baseman, Placido Polanco. Hit cleanup last night, went 0 for 3. In fact, you guys, Chris, in the first inning, were talking about how hard he is to strike out. Lo and behold, Cingrani got him on strikes.
Well, Cingrani's his strikeout pitches are really befuddling because it looks like a fastball that's hittable, but it gets on the hitter. His deception is really an effective weapon for him, and he had 8 strikeouts in 5 innings.
On the ground to the right side, and Brandon Phillips will take care of Polanco for out number 2. Take a look at the Reds defensively behind the big right-hander Matt Latos. Brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Heisey, Chu, and Bruce across the outfield. Frazier, Cozart, Phillips, and Votto on the infield. A battery of Latos and Ryan Hannigan. So with 2 out is Giancarlo Stanton. This young man who drove in just shy of 100 runs a year ago has yet to drive in a run so far this year in 10 games. Missed almost a week with a sore shoulder. Injured diving for a ball in the outfield in New York. He's at a ball and a strike. He committed 2 errors in the game last night. This has not been an overly good Miami team defensively. He looks like he's fooled totally on that pitch.
Well, you would be too. I mean, he throws a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner on the knees, and then he follows up with essentially an unhittable slider.
And he gets in there in a very quick and effective first inning for the right-hander Matt Latos with a couple of strikeouts. victory number 5 in a row of his Reds can get it here tonight and to go to 3 games above the 500 mark, which would equal their high water mark of this 2013 season. And his lineup card looks like this tonight: Chu, Cozart, and Votto, Phillips, Bruce, and Frazier, Heisey, Hannigan, and Latos. Nothing much different right there for Dusty Baker here tonight. On the mound for the Marlins is Kevin Slowey.
Slowey's a 28-year-old right-hander. He goes about 6'2", 200 pounds, and he was raised in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. You may recognize that as also the hometown of former Red, the mayor of Riverfront, Sean Casey. Ended up going to Winthrop University down in South Carolina, and the Twins plucked him number 2 in the second round in 2005.
Chu will lead it off, then Cozart and Votto here in the bottom of the first. Mentioned earlier that Slowey has never appeared against the Reds, although he has worked against this man. Shin-Soo Choo has 4 hits and 21 at bats against him. Of course, all the years that Chu spent in the American League with Cleveland.
You know, sometimes we give you a graphic look at what the scatter report is on a certain pitcher. Today we're doing a little something different. We went to the Reds hitting coach, of course, who studied video, pores over the scatter reports that the advanced scout is able to provide the Reds, and we're going to hear from Brooke Jacoby right after Chu's done with his at bat.
Chu with a ball and 2 strikes. Last night he picked up the first Reds hit against the hard throwing right-hander Jose Fernandez. Ended up with a pair of hits in the game, and now has reached base in all 15 games in which he has played. There's Brooke Jacoby, the hitting coach of the Reds. Hear from him in a moment.
Well, you look up and down this Reds lineup, and under the column of on-base percentage, and you see you've got 2 guys that are near 500. Chu is a little bit below. Votto is a little bit above. Then you've got Brandon Phillips and Jay Bruce on base all the time.
Chu goes the other way, hits it hard, hits it deep into left center field. That will one-hop the wall near the 379 mark. He keeps going around second, on his way to third, and he is in there with a head-first slide and a triple to start the Reds' first inning here tonight.
I mean, can anybody in their wildest imagination have predicted the way that Shin-Soo Choo would just start the season and just energize this lineup? I mean, the Reds are scoring tons of runs because they're getting guys on base. And Chu leads it off with a triple. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
You know, that was the game plan in the offseason, but to see it come to fruition like it has is really something.
Well, it was good scouting on the part of the Reds, and they took a flyer on Chu. You know, they've only got him for a 1-year deal right now, but boy, he is making the most of his time here in Cincinnati.
There he stands, 90 feet away from giving the Reds the early lead in this game. Batter now is Cozart. Another one had a multi-hit game last night. Zach was 2 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in. His RBI total now in double digits at 10. That's a foul ball and will be caught over there by the first baseman Mahoney.
Well, yeah, high fastball right there was a pop-up pitch for Zach Cozart, and Brooke Jacoby will tell us exactly how Kevin Slowey goes about it.
Well, he pitches up in the zone, it looks like. From what I've seen on video, he pitches up in the zone with his fastball. He'll spray it all around the zone and try to work his curveball. He'll work his curveball to the bottom. Lefties are going to get a change up, and, you know, we'll see what we can do with him.
Little scouting report right there by Brooke Jacoby.
And it's pretty true so far what we've seen from Slowey. He throws his fastball around the letters and tries to get that breaking ball down. Not a lot of guys who throw 88 miles an hour like to pitch upstairs like Kevin Slowey.
Slowey works here against Votto. 1 hit, 3 trips last night. This guy leads the National League in on-base percentage at .526. Leads the big leagues in walks with 24. Been on base in every game the Reds have played, all 16. Now he's ahead again, 3-0. Boy, you got to wonder, don't you, if he gets frustrated with all the walks.
Well, you can't afford to do that. I mean, I think approaches it this year a little differently than he has in the past. He wants to give a good battle in every at bat, and a walk is not a failure for Joey Votto.
Swinging at 3-0, lifts it into left field. Pierre is there, and he will just lob that ball back in. He's not going to throw out Chu from that deep. Sacrifice fly for Joey Votto gets him his 4th RBI, and a 1-0 Reds lead. Take a look at the Marlins defensively now. Behind the right-hander Kevin Slowey, brought to you by your Ford dealers. Across the outfield, it's Pierre, Ruggiano, and Stanton. Polanco and Green left side. Solano, Mahoney right side. A battery of Slowey and Brantley. Mahoney in there tonight. First start of the series. Then goes with Nick Green at short. Juan Pierre out in left field. Green just called up from their AAA club at New Orleans. When Adeiny Echevarria went on the DL, they had Valleca play short last night. Green playing there tonight. First base last night for the Marlins was filled by Greg Dobbs. Today it's the big guy over there, Joe Mahoney. All on a strike now to Brandon Phillips. 2 out, bases clear, a run home. Reds have jumped out in front 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Phillips swings and lifts it into center. Ruggiano is there, and the inning is over. But Latos is staked to a lead. Reds get a run and lead 1-0 after 1.
Was what exactly Giancarlo Stanton got from Matt Latos. Fastball, breaking ball, and then a fastball. See you later. How about a whip of that fastball, Giancarlo? Our head and shoulders whip. Matt Latos over the number 3 hitter in that Marlins lineup.
So Latos, we talked earlier about having bad Aprils throughout the early years of his career, and this year, even though he has no decisions, noticeably better.
Well, I think he came to camp a much more relaxed pitcher than he was last year. I think he felt a burden last year when he was traded for 4 players that went to San Diego, all quality players who were in the major leagues last year, that he felt like he had to prove his worth right away and do superhuman stuff. And I don't think he really pitched his game. As he got more comfortable throughout the year, he ended up 14 wins against 4 losses. So he had a great year overall. But the other thing that I think that Matt Latos did over the winter is that he worked on his delivery. And he told me that in spring training about what he did, a little drill. He hung a tennis ball from the ceiling and he would practice that over and over, reach up with his right arm and try to groove that arm slot. He wants a nice high arm slot with his pitching delivery, and he really feels that repetitive action of reaching for that tennis ball time and time again every night all winter long has really gotten him to pitch downhill. And when you're 6'6", you can pitch downhill.
Well, he's making his 4th start. He's had 3 quality starts. An ERA going into this game of 3.2. He had an ERA of 5.2 to his first 16 starts of his career in April going into tonight. So that was even higher prior to the start of 2013. He gets Mahoney on a ground ball. He deals now with Justin Ruggiano. Ruggiano, a pair of hits last night, a home run, supplying the only Marlins run that came in the 4th inning, and a 9th inning single against right-hander Jonathan Broxton. Reds looking for their 5th consecutive victory. I stand corrected on that earlier. I said 5 was their longest of last year. Who could forget? Apparently me. Now they won 10 in a row last year, leading to the big
good night
head shaving of one Marty Brenneman.
Let's take a look at the motion that we were talking about with Matt Latos, courtesy of Performance Honda, our Exmo camera. You know, he keeps himself very quiet early on, doesn't have a lot of glove movement, doesn't bring it over his head or anything like that. He gets to a big high balance point. That's at the very top of his leg kick. And look how he drops that arm down, and straight over the top he comes. Pitching downhill and using his body a lot to get something behind it.
That goes into the stands behind the Reds dugout. This is Rob Brantley, the catcher. Started last night, in there again tonight. And there was a bat that went into the stands the other night on the third base side.
Brantley keeps looking up into the stands thinking, I'd like to have that bat back. And the protocol is normally what happens is that the bat boy will run over a substitute bat, and you'll get your original bat back, but he's going to have to go with a new piece of wood up there.
Hitless in the game last night. He starts this one at 186 with 3 RBIs. Has not faced this big right-hander Matt Latos before. Latos only 3 walks, 19 strikeouts, 19 1/3 innings coming into this game. Reds lost his last time out. Talking about Latos, that was that game in Pittsburgh on Sunday. And they ultimately lost 10-7 after having a 5-0 lead going into the bottom of the 7th inning of that one.
Yeah, those are the kind of games that when you leave as a starting pitcher, you're thinking, well, I can pretty much chalk this one up and put it right in the book. But it's not always like that, not in the game of baseball.
He gave up the home run ball in that inning to Michael McHenry to get it started, and it just went downhill from there. Here's a check swing. He went around, and boy, oh boy, Latos looks ultra sharp here tonight, having retired all 6 that have come up there against him thus far. On these Marlins this coming Sunday. Don't forget to take advantage of the first 4 for $48 ticket offer. Plus the first 8,000 kids 14 and younger get a Reds sports band thanks to Tire Discounters. For tickets to see the Reds and the Marlins this coming Sunday, call 513-381-REDS. Visit select Kroger locations or go to reds.com/tickets. 1-0 Reds as Cincinnati comes calling against his right-hander Kevin Slowey here in the bottom of the second. That run that Slowey gave up in the first inning, the first run he has given up in any of the first 3 innings so far this year. He's really been very good early, not so good late. It's Bruce, Frazier, and Heisey here in the bottom of number 2. Jay starts the game at 294, just a hair under the 300 mark. Getting a hit last night. He scored 3 times in the game last night, Jay Bruce. Still, of course, looking for that first home run. Well, he's been getting so many hits the other way this year that at least right now in this at bat, the Marlins don't have the big shift on him. All 4. So a 5-pitch walk means the Reds get the leadoff man on for the second straight inning.
Hard to keep your dauber up if you know that status as starting pitcher every time you take him out and your team doesn't score. Tough to win a ball game, and you know what, that's going to be like that for the Miami Marlins quite a bit this year. Their offense is probably going to struggle. They play in a big ballpark that's not an easy ballpark to hit home runs in.
It's not been their pitching that really has let them down, as this ball lined into center by Frazier. Ruggiano will get it back in. Here the Reds knocking on the door now in the second, 2 on with nobody out.
Boy, he just levels that bat and hits a line drive right back through the middle in the center field. A lot like that home run that he hit last night. That excited everybody in this ballpark. No more excited than Teddy Kramer. I mean, he loves that pitch down about thigh high out over on the outer third of the plate. Pow.
Now here's Chris Heisey back in the lineup tonight. Xavier Paul was in there starting in the left last night. Heisey facing Slowey for the first time in his career, and he gets strike 1. Slowey had some decent years with the Minnesota Twins. He won a dozen games in 08. He won 13 games for them in 2010. But his last 2 years have been injury plagued. That ball driven into the left field corner. That is a foul ball. Right on top of that down there, the crew chief, Fielding Culbreth. 2 quick strikes on Heisey.
Well, you're right. You know, Kevin Slowey did have some very good years with the Twins. I mean, very good meaning he won 12 games, 10 games, and then 13 games between 2008 and 2010. But when he went 0-8 in 2011, the Twins kind of gave up on him. They ended up trading him to the Colorado Rockies. And then the Indians needed a starting pitcher when Fausto Carmona was arrested. They figured they needed some pitching depth, so they ended up trading for Kevin Slowey, and he ended up in the minor leagues last year in Columbus.
Here's a drive to left field off the bat of Heisey. Pierre going back and right in front of the wall. He'll make the catch of that ball for out number 1.
Got a little on the end of the bat. That previous pitch that he rifled down the left field line foul was a fastball. Slowey took a little bit off that pitch. You see the spin of the ball right there by our Performance Honda Exmo camera. Just a little on the edge.
Pierre been busy already out there in left field, and now Slowey will face the number 8 hitter, Ryan Hannigan. 2 on and 1 out. Hannigan, you see there, off to a slow start to 2013.
So Slowey goes to Cleveland. He doesn't make the team out of spring training. He gets assigned down to Columbus and ends up having a rib injury that sidelines him for about half the year. So overall, he only pitched 8 games down there or so for the Columbus Clippers. Signed here with Miami as a minor league free agent. Made the ball club out of spring training. In fact, he's one of 7 non-roster players to make the team out of spring training.
Well, you don't see that very often, do you?
Yeah, usually you'll see 1, maybe 2. But to have 7 players that get invited on minor league contracts to make your opening day roster, that shows your big league team's in a little bit of a state of flux.
Two and 0 to Hannigan from Slowey. Bruce at second, Frazier at first. Reds in front 1-0 here in the bottom of number 2. So Slowey 0-2 this year, 0-8 as Chris was talking about in 2011. So he has lost his last 10 big league decisions. Hasn't won a game since September of 2010, pitching for Minnesota against Oakland.
Well, he could really use a ground ball right here, but ground balls aren't something that Kevin Slowey really gives up. He's a guy that throughout his career has been a prolific fly ball pitcher. That's the numbers you're talking about, his last 11 starts.
Facing the Reds for the first time ever. That's what he wanted, the ground ball. There's 1, there's 2. That's a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play hit into by Ryan Hannigan. So we're through 2. 1-0 Reds. The night brought to you by Miller Lite. Yes, indeed, there is a little rain coming down here at Great American Ballpark. Some of the fans head for cover, some with their hats on and their jackets on. Brave it. Back to work, a very impressive Matt Latos. 6 up, 6 down, 4 strikeouts in this game thus far. There's the home plate umpire, Bill Welke. He is wiping off his mask. He must have set it down in the dirt area of home plate. Got a little mud on it.
Yeah, Bill Welke's a Michigan guy. I mean, they get this kind of weather up here probably right in the dead of July, don't they? If you go way up there to the UP.
The Upper Peninsula?
Yeah.
Yeah. the UP. Yeah, they're prone to bad weather up there.
It's a little bit late in the month of April, though, to see the temperature hovering down around the freezing mark at some point in the night. I'd like to say good riddance to this once and for all.
See you again maybe next November. Nick Green leads things off, the number 7 hitter in the Marlins lineup. Green just up from AAA New Orleans when Echeverria went on the DL down there. He hit .293 in 11 games, and he bounces this one over the mound and into center field, and a base hit for Nick Green gives the Marlins their first base runner.
Well, trying to keep it nice and simple, take it right back through the middle, hit the ball at the worst defender on the field. That usually is the pitcher. And you just see how it goes right through the wickets of Matt Latos.
Green out of the big leagues all last year. Been around a little bit, always been a utility guy. It'll be interesting to see who gets more playing time while Echeverria is on the DL, whether it be Valleca, the former Red, or Green. Here's Donovan Solano. Ball 1 to him. Solano in the game last night, a hit in 4 trips. Starts the game at 222. Boy, look, he's got that ski mask type protection on his neck, trying to stay warm, minus the face portion. There you go. Good look at that. Keep the ears warm, keep the neck warm. This kind of weather would never pop up down in Miami, but if it did, they'd simply close the roof.
And it would never prop up either in where Donovan Solano is from, which is a country of Colombia.
That's a line drive base hit into left field. So like the Reds in the bottom of the second, the Marlins here in the top of the third put the first 2 on.
I might be wrong about that. Maybe if you got up in the mountains of Colombia a certain time of the year, you get some cool weather.
Speaking of mountains and cool weather, as Kevin Slowey comes up there, remember, wasn't it you and I talking about R.A. Dickey climbing, or someone climbing Mount Kilimanjaro? This guy was involved in that.
He was one of 3 people that went up and climbed the biggest mountain there in the continent of Africa. It took him, what, 7 days and 50 miles.
Wow.
They hired a chef, they hired or cook, I should say, and a guide, and they raised a lot of money for a very fine charity that targeted children.
Hannigan will make the play. Sacrifice executed as Phillips takes the throw. Time now for tonight's storylines, which are brought to you by Elk and Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. We were talking, Chris, about this earlier.
Yeah, we did. We talked about how Matt Latos throughout his career, and this is before this year, how he has not been able to really get off the mark very fast. But here in the month of April in 2013, his earned run average much better than his career numbers. His strikeouts are up, his walks are down, and his innings per start are up. So Matt Latos feels a lot more comfortable about himself and where he is, and the Reds are happy about that.
Tonight's Elk and Elk storyline. Juan Pierre had a late bunt there and fouled it. The runner was not breaking from third. Green. Juan Pierre, he is the active leader in the big leagues in career stolen bases. He's pushing the 600 mark, just 6 away from that. And still, at mid-30s, he can still run pretty well. He is 34, 35 years old. Had 37 stolen bases last year. 3 so far this year. Infield halfway for the Reds. There he shows bunt again.
Now the Reds are going to play the infield in. They're not anxious to even give up 1 run to this Marlins ball club. Pierre's thinking maybe about a push bunt right there. That ball runs him off the plate and then comes back in and touches the inside corner. That is a tough pitch to throw, and Reds are very fortunate. They've got 3 or 4 pitchers on their staff that can throw that front door fastball very effectively. Get out of there.
Pierre, a member of the second Florida Marlins World Championship team back in 2003. They won it initially in '97. Although interesting to note that they have never won their division. 2 times they've made the playoffs, both been as wild card entry. Got him. Pierre thought it was up and in. That one caught the inside corner. Pierre, a strikeout victim for the second time.
What a great pitch by Matt Latos. Look at the action on this ball. I mean, he just freezes Pierre. Now, our Fox tracks will show that ball a little bit up and in, but a good frame job by Ryan Hannigan. Bill Welke rings him up, and that'll set the infield back in normal depth.
So for the Marlins, the first 2 reach, next 2 retired. Here is Placido Polanco. th big league year for this guy. Grounded out to the right side his first time. Now he's at a ball and a strike. To the right side, that'll get in, and a base hit, a run will score. Other runner challenging Bruce's arm, and that's a major mistake right there for Donovan Solano and Joe Espada, the third base coach. That ball was not that deep and right at all. Bruce, of course, one of the most accurate and strongest arms in the big leagues, guns down Solano easily to end the top of the third. Here's another look at it. You buy Toyota. See your Toyota dealers or visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the JTM Food Group. Let's create great dishes together. Here's that throw again by Jay Bruce from right field to gun down Donovan Solano.
They were playing Polanco very shallow, and then you see he gets the ball there in plenty of time. Perfect one-hop throw, and gives Ryan Hannigan a chance to get his leg out in front of home plate, block the plate, and the out record at the end of the inning.
You know, I say at the end of the play, mistake by the Marlins, but you know, I started thinking, you got to wonder the way that they are not scoring. They've got a runner moving from second on contact. Maybe they thought, you know, maybe not the smartest play, but maybe his throw will be a little bit off.
Yeah, but you know what? On a wet grass, and of course the grass is wet by now, maybe the ball skips, gets away from the catcher. Maybe Bruce doesn't throw it right on the money as he did. I mean, you couldn't have laid a better throw in there.
Right.
So it made it look like it was a bad mistake by the Marlins, but had it been a marginal throw instead of a great throw, would have been a lot closer.
We were talking earlier about the fact that their pitching has been decent, but their hitting has just been terrible. The lowest batting average, lowest on base percentage, fewest runs scored, fewest home runs hit, not only in the National League, but in all of Major League Baseball heading into this game. Tonight's Ohio Lottery Mega Millions jackpot. That total now worth $83 million. Drawing is at 11 p.m. tonight. The Ohio Lottery Mega Millions. $83 million. That strikeout of Latos, the first for Kevin Slowey. Top of the order now, and Shin-Soo Choo. Still that light rain, mist almost falling here at the ballpark. Supposed to get a little bit better tomorrow, a little bit better on Sunday again. Choo started the Reds with a first inning with a triple. Scored on the Joey Votto sacrifice fly. This Miami team, after they leave here on Sunday, no relief for them weather-wise. They go to Minnesota for a couple of games.
Yeah, they were talking around the batting cage today. The Marlins were about the New York Mets, who went to Minnesota and got snowed out, and then went on to Denver and also got snowed out.
What a trip right there, huh? Check swing, and
pitch.
Bill Wilkie said you went around, and now Choo will argue with that call with the home plate umpire. That was a called strike three, not a check swing. Choo disagrees as he heads back to the dugout.
Well, you can see early indications are that Bill Welke's got a generous strike zone for pitchers tonight. That one looks like it catches the corner, and Choo really doesn't have much of an argument. We saw much of a marginal pitch taken for strike three by Juan Pierre in the top of the inning.
Now it's Cozart, and Slowey gets ahead with a strike.
Hey, it's raining a lot harder now. Just got a little text from old Ralphie boy over there in Villa Hills. He says it's raining hard over there in the Commonwealth.
Means it may be floating right up this way. One strike to Cozart. A few more fans now get up and head for the protection of cover underneath. Now Tuesday night, hour and 20 delay at the start. Another 40 or so minutes in the ninth inning before the game was suspended. Completed the next day. More rain here tonight. To the shortstop. Green with a nice pick and throw. Cozart gone, and the Reds are in order in the bottom of number 3 here on this Friday night. McCoy has more on Todd Frazier hitting that home run last night at the request of honorary bat boy Teddy Kramer, who stole the show here at the ballpark last night. Don't forget that during every home game you can chat with Hal in Game Talk. That's the section of Game Connect. Plus the NFL schedule released yesterday, and Kevin Goheen breaks down the Bengals' 2013 opponents. Get complete coverage of today's Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. There's more of Teddy. That's some of his actions last night. Brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less. That's last night. Now Teddy's not here tonight. Hard-working man, deserves a drink of water
and a night off.
Dusty was joking about Teddy before the game. He was laughing and having a good time late in the game, and Dusty said, I went over to him and said, hey young man, your work's not done yet. This game's not over yet. Teddy got serious instantly. He said, you're right, you're right. Fourth inning, Stanton leading things off. He's at a ball and a strike. That one may have caught the foot of Ryan Hannigan. Well, Hannigan's had a tough go of it early on. He got that foul ball off his right hand earlier this season. He had a little issue with his left thumb. Now he gets a foul ball off the foot right there. He'll be back behind the plate with Hannigan tomorrow with Bronson Arroyo on the mound. Stanton, you see, he's got one of those masks on tonight also. This one up over his mouth. Yeah, I don't think he had that on the first go round. Stanton last night had a first inning hit against Cingrani, walked later, then fanned twice, once against Cingrani, once against Alfredo Simon. He's had good luck going into this game against Latos in his career, having picked up 4 hits in 5 at-bats. Boy, you just got to figure, though, that this lineup from top to bottom feeling the pressure of the lack of offense that they have produced this year. Now, the biggest man of them all, Stanton, called out on strikes for out number 1.
Now, he was called out on strikes here. He was swung and missed on 4 pitches his first time up. And I'll tell you what, you know, the way that Matt Latos releases that ball, it appears like it's going to stay outside off the plate, and it's got great running action. I keep going back to the fact that, you know, when you throw sidearm, you can get that kind of running action very easily. But when you throw overhand like Latos, you have to have tremendous extension towards home plate to get out there and pronate your hand and get that ball to run like that.
Bounce into the mound, knocked down by the big 6'6" body of Matt Latos, and he will throw Joe Mahoney out at first base. I think it's not a little cool out here. Look, you can see the breath of Matt Latos as he gets ready to work here. Right off the right leg. So Mahoney's 0 for 2. There are 2 men out. Now Paul Lassard, Dusty Baker emerged from the dugout. Latos shaking his head, kind of laughing like, look guys, I'm all right. Apparently they didn't listen.
Well, they came out and said, hey, you know, especially Paul Lassard, because we do get Dusty on a lot, but we don't get Paul Lassard on. He goes, I deserve a little TV face time.
And he does. He certainly does.
Good trainer, good guy too. Steve Bauman, he also helps down there and handles the training for the Reds, and boy, they do a marvelous job, their medical department.
2 men out now for Justin Ruggiano. Ruggiano out on strikes his first time. Ruggiano, 31 years old now. This is a guy who labored in the minor leagues for a long time before finally getting a legitimate big league shot with Tampa Bay a couple of years ago. Last year, 13 home runs for the Marlins. He had a very good second half of the year, as did Donovan Solano. A team that won only 69 games.
A team that won only 69 games with a payroll in excess of $101 million. And of course, the payroll has been just about half to this year with all the trades that the Marlins made over the winter, sending their high-priced players to different ball clubs, mainly the Toronto Blue Jays, and they've stocked up on a lot of prospects.
Breaking ball that tipped right into the glove of Ryan Hannigan, and another strikeout for Latos, who already has amassed 7 of them through 4 innings. Veterans in your community, 30 veterans, one to represent each major league team, will be recognized at the 2013 All-Star Game coming up July the 16th on Fox. To nominate, go to tributeforheroes.com. And don't forget, Reds fans, if a Reds player hits the Toyota Tundra sign during tonight's game, Gertrude Straub of Cincinnati, an owner of a 2005 Prius, will win this beautiful new Tundra. It's on display here at Great American Ballpark. You can register for your chance to win at an upcoming game by visiting your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Good luck, Gertrude. Here's a good chance for it now to happen with Joey Votto, or at least the best chance to have it happen with Joey Votto. Maybe Jay Bruce a little bit later on in the lineup. Joey with a sacrifice fly to left in the first, driven in the only Reds run of this game. 1-1 into the bottom of the fourth.
Well, you heard the scouting report about Kevin Slowey from Brooke Jacoby, but you also saw a very rare ground ball double play. This guy, since he came into the Major League Baseball in 2007, has been a prolific fly ball pitcher. This is your ground ball percentage, and these are 4 guys actually with Jared Weaver there, who are all still active players in baseball. Chris Young, Ted Lilly, they're both in the minor leagues for the Nationals and the Dodgers. Kevin Slowey at 42%, and Jared Weaver, the opening day starter for the Anaheim Angels, at 43%.
Weaver's on the DL now.
Yes,
right?
He is.
Yeah.
And there are certain ballparks where you can get away with it and be a fly ball pitcher. Minnesota was one, and Miami is another. Ballpark down there, very beautiful new ballpark in Miami that just simply doesn't give up the home run ball very easily.
Not here, though.
Here, maybe a different story. Aaron Harang is on that list, not quite in the top 5, but He struggled here at home, sometimes with the way the ball would fly out of here when the weather heats up.
Votto strikes out, one of those funky kind of swings that you see every now and then from Joey.
That was one of those swings he's just trying to make enough contact to stay alive, trying to foul it off, and got underneath it.
Strikeout number 3 for Slow. He brings up Brandon Phillips, who fly to center to end the first inning for the Redlegs. Reds have actually been out hit 3-2, led early 1-0, tied 1-1 now. A couple of day games coming up. The remainder of this series, both tomorrow and Sunday at 1:10. Tomorrow, Bronson Arroyo against a lefty, Wade LeBlanc, former Padre. And then Sunday, Homer Bailey against Alex Sanabria. The chest of Polanco, who recovers in time to get Phillips at first base. Polanco, an interesting story. He's won a couple of Gold Gloves, one at second base and one at third base. You don't see that very often.
Well, he's a very versatile player, always has been. As you said earlier, around in the big leagues for a long time, something like, what, 15 or 16 years?
16 years, yeah.
But how often do you see that at third base, though? It's almost like it's been described to me as a fumble in football. I mean, the ball gets down on you, you knock it down, you stay with it, and because you get the ball so quickly, normally at third base, you often have a chance to pick the ball up and throw the runner out like he did just there.
He won a Gold Glove at third base just 2 years ago, 2011. He won a Gold Glove with Detroit at second base in 07, and then another Gold Glove in 09 at second base.
And he's played on a lot of good teams in his career.
2 men out for Bruce. He had a different look of that pitch than did Bill Welke. Walked his first time. Modest hitting streak of 4 coming into this one for Jay Bruce. Frazier waits on deck. Slowly, despite the weather, no sleeves. Pitchers don't change up very often, though. They don't wear sleeves ever. They don't wear it whether it's cold or not. You see Homer Bailey going out there like that all the time. And that frigidly cold day in Chicago early last year, he threw a pretty good game. Went out there with no sleeves.
Yeah, it's usually not your arm that gets cold. I mean, a lot of guys will wear long sleeves because they don't want to be cold when they're sitting in the dugout. But it's usually the pitcher who's the warmest guy on the field. He's the one that's moving around the most. You know, if you watch Slowey closely, after every pitch he goes to his mouth. There he goes again, blowing in his hands. Of course, you're permitted to do that. You're actually permitted to lick your fingers now, or like he does right there, as long as you show the umpires that you're rubbing it off.
When you're on the mound.
When you're on the mound. It used to be that you'd have to get off the mound into the grass, and it would be delaying the game.
Hard hit, base hit, Jay Bruce.
Now they beat the ship that time with the ball up the middle.
Little 5-game hitting streak now for Jay. He's on with 2 out.
That was a good observation you made earlier, Jim, about all the base hits that Bruce has had to center field and the left field. And that's one of the things he's trying to do, is not become a pull hitter, not become a guy that pulls his shoulder out and is susceptible to long slumps.
One of the things he talks about so much when people talk to him about the ups and downs of his season, he's really trying to get away from the big peaks and big valleys and even that thing out a little bit. Here's Frazier. Solid single to center his first time. Scoreboard totals with that hitter now identical. A run, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on both sides.
Now, Frazier early in this year has really answered a lot of questions. His defense has improved. He's hit for power. He's got 5 home runs, driven in 14. Now he's hitting over 300. I'm not sure that you could expect him to do more.
He's a guy that this year has had the peak and valley going, that great start, and then that downer on the road trip. Boy, in this homestand, he's gotten it going again.
Well, anytime you replace a guy like Scott Rowland, there's going to be questions, because you know you set your bar of expectations very high when you see Scott Rowland play down there. You know what you're going to get defensively, Gold Glove, and you know you're going to get a leader, and you know you're going to get a guy that can swing the bat, and you hope that Frazier could do some of those things really well, but right now he's doing everything really well.
Now that split right there.
Well, they haven't had a lot of road games, and the 2 tough series that they did have in St. Louis and in Pittsburgh, the Reds ended up winning 1 out of what, 6 games?
Right. Let's see what Frazier gets here now. 3-1.
Yeah, Slowey was really rolling right along there. Had retired 7 in a row before that base hit by Jay Bruce. And now he slows his pace down a little bit. 3-1 count. Good hitting count for Frazier. Outfield playing deep, trying to prevent a double.
Todd might want to have that one back. That was right in there. He took it. It's a full count. Now Bruce will be on the move from first base. 3-2, 2 out. Mahoney playing behind the runner. There he goes, and into center. Playable out there for Ruggiano, who makes the catch to retire the Reds here in the bottom of the 4th. They leave a runner, and we're 1-1 through 4. To check out the signature Reds exhibit presented by Dinsmore and Scholl. Experience the world of autographs, including over 1,500 signed baseballs, photographs, game-used equipment, a lot more things there to be sure. Plan your next visit. You can call 513-765-7923 or log on to redsmuseum.org. Don't forget the Reds and Fox Sports Ohio would like to welcome Reds fans from the Sherman Baptist Church in Florence, Kentucky tonight, who rode on the Fan Express to this Reds game here this evening at GABP. The Sherman Baptist Church Group out of Florence, Kentucky. All right, Latos to work. Inning number 5. He's walked none. He has struck out 7. Season high for Latos is 8 strikeouts as he works here against Rob Brantley, the catcher. Brantley a strikeout victim his first time, and Nick Green, then Donovan Solano. Out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Brantley. Off to a slow start behind the plate, this fellow. Their other catcher on this team is Miguel Olivo. That name rings a bell. Yes, he was with the Reds all spring training.
Well, Olivo, even though he's got a lot of veteran guidance and experience, he's not the catcher of the future for the Marlins. Rob Brantley is. That's one reason why he was in there last night catching Jose Fernandez.
That equals a season high now for Latos, making 8 strikeouts.
Good call right there by Bill Welke, according to our Fox tracks, right on the corner.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. He really does have a lot of that late movement going tonight.
And it's something that is very unusual to see for a guy that throws overhand like that.
Sam LeCurish, isn't it?
Yep.
There's Nick Green. A foul ball. A little ways to go now for Latos in terms of a career high. He struck out 13 Brewers near the end of June last year. Keep coming right at these hitters tonight.
Well, that's one thing that Latos has always been able to do. And for a guy who's 6'6" and throws as hard as he does, you'd think it would come along with a certain amount of control problems. But not so for Latos. He's always been a strike thrower, and he is attacking the zone tonight.
Green at a base hit. Scored the only Marlins run back in the 3rd. Mentioned earlier, Green, a guy that's been around a little bit. He's 34 years old. Broke into the big leagues back in 04 with Atlanta. He's played for the Braves, the Rays, the Yankees, the Mariners, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, now Miami. Never really been an everyday player. First game of 2013 in the big leagues for him. Another base hit, this by Green into right. So the veteran Green 2 for 2. You know, you can always get ready for Reds baseball 30 minutes before every game with Reds Live here on Fox Sports Ohio. Everything you need to know about the upcoming game you can get right here on Reds Live, your exclusive home for Reds baseball is Fox Sports Ohio. That's Reds Live, presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Jim Day, Jeff Pecoro. I'll have it for you tomorrow. I'll have it for you again on Sunday. I'll have it for you Monday and Tuesday against the Chicago Cubs. No telecast next Wednesday. That's off to an extended road trip for the Reds. Takes them to D.C. for 4, St. Louis again for 3, and the Cubs for 3. Base hit to left for Solano. His first time up. Their starting second baseman last year, the fellow who played more at second than anybody else, was Omar Infante. He's gone. Solano came in and he did a heck of a job for them.
He did very late in the year when he came up. This year off to a rather slow start.
25 years old, Solano. Lead at first by Green. This one in the air to Bruce. Jay will backpedal and make the catch. 2 out for the pitcher, Kevin Slowey. Tight one here tonight, 1-1 in the 5th, but it was a tight one in the contest last night until the Reds finally figured out Jose Fernandez.
Got a chance to talk with Jose Fernandez a little bit this afternoon after the game last night. A very nice young man, very fluent in English, obviously. He graduated from high school in Tampa and was drafted by the Marlins rather than signing as an international free agent. In fact, the story is when he came over here before he enrolled in high school, the Reds were one of those teams. There were several that went after him, but the Reds were one of those teams that wanted to sign him as an international free agent. But he seems to me, after speaking with him this afternoon, just mature way beyond his years. Of course, he's been through so much more than any of us at our age, much less a kid who's only 20 years old.
Yeah, I heard
he tried 3 times to defect from Cuba. Twice he was thwarted. He was shot at. He was thrown in prison, taken out of school, his baseball taken away from him. He had to jump over the boat to save his mother, haul her back into the boat when she fell off when a rogue wave hit the boat.
Well, I heard you guys talking about that last night. Hard to fathom.
It's all true. The young man, he said something very interesting to me. He says, I'm almost glad it happened last night, that I went out and got beat around by the Reds the way I did, because I've got a lot to learn. But this is the major leagues, and it's not easy. And some guys learn it quicker than others.
That's number 9, a new season high in terms of strikeouts for Matt Latos. He sets down his counterpart Slowey. 1-1 into the bottom of the 5th. Coverage of the Reds with you. MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years, so make sure you catch every Reds out of market game live online or on your favorite mobile devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit Reds.com to order. Get all the details. It's MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. Red American Ballpark, downtown Cincinnati. The Reds are playing their 11th home game of the year. They've made their hay here at home so far this year, 8-2. Dusty asked about that during his pregame press meeting. He said, you know what, I'm anxious actually to get out on the road. We need to improve that road record, where they're going to get all the road baseball they need come next Thursday when they head out for 10.
Well, when you lose the way they did at the very end of that road trip, you lost 3 in a row to Pittsburgh. You lost the last 2 that they played in St. Louis. They needed to come back on this 10-game homestand and kind of get their act together again. They didn't look like their offense was going worth anything over there in Pittsburgh. And as it turned out, they've turned the offense on here back at the friendly confines of Great American Ballpark very nicely.
Always helps when you can get it going a little bit against one of the best in the game in Cliff Lee, and that's what they did on that Monday, the first game of the Philly series, and won the suspended game and then pounded out 11 runs in the finale of that Philly get-together.
Well, it hasn't been all offense either, of course. It was Bronson Arroyo that went against Cliff Lee. It was Homer Bailey against Kyle Kendrick. That pitching duel was 0-0 until the Reds finally pushed across a couple of runs the next day.
Reds Media Relations Department passed along a stat today that the Reds have allowed 2 or fewer runs in each game during this current 4-game winning streak. They have not allowed 2 runs or fewer in 5 consecutive wins since 1996, some 17 years ago. What the Reds did there.
Yeah, early in the year still, and this is what we were talking about as far as, you know, hitting the offensive skids on the road. But, you know, Reds have played more games at home than they have on the road, obviously, but they will get on the road. There's some challenging road trips coming up. The next one being one of them.
Hannigan bounced into a double play to end the second inning, first time up tonight. Heisey lined out, so 1 man out in this inning. The pitcher on deck. Kevin Slowey 0-2 on the year, but with a 2.04 ERA. There's a ball driven into center and caught on the run by Ruggiano. You know, Hannigan has had some of that kind of luck this year. This guy doesn't strike out very often. He's hit some balls hard. That's one of them.
Yeah, he's only struck out 5 times. He's walked 5 times, so he puts the ball in play, and you don't hit 088 unless you have some bad luck too.
Two men gone for the pitcher, Latos. Reds went down in order in the third. Slowey trying to do it again here. The point I was trying to make with an 0-2 record for Slowey, his 3 starts have actually been pretty darn good ones, all of them. One quality start when he went 7+. His other starts, he simply didn't make it into the required inning, the 6th, get through that inning to get a quality start. Had he been able to do so, he would have gotten it. A gapper into left center by Latos. That one will roll all the way to the wall right in front of the Reds bullpen, and Latos pulls into second with a double, his first hit of the year.
Well, he's a big guy, and he can develop some speed with that baseball bat. He stays right on that. That's a good swing by Matt Latos. And they had the center fielder shifted around a little bit towards right center, and it opened up the gap for him. And Juan Pierre, the left fielder, finally comes over in front of the Reds bullpen to retrieve it. So keep the inning alive. Maybe Chu can drive him in.
5th career double for Matt Latos. He represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th. Now it's Chu. Triple scored in the first. Called out on strikes in the third on a pitch that he disagreed with.
Well, that's where Slowey's been all night long against Shin-Soo Choo. Trying to paint that inside corner. Choo's been so good at being able to handle that outside pitch. The pitch moves away from him, slashing that ball to left field. That's what Slowey's trying to take away. Change up there. Brooke Jacoby telling us that left-handers would see a lot of those change-ups.
Toward the middle, but Solano will get to that ball and make the play. Choo is gone, and the inning is over. One hit, one left, through 5. Good pitching matchup here tonight. Northern Kentucky Honda dealers. Let's take a look at our Honda game summary tonight. Choo led off the Reds' first inning with his first triple of the year. High off the wall in left center. Look at that hustle into third by the first-year Red, Shin-Soo Choo. He scored on a sacrifice fly by Votto, giving the Reds a 1-0 lead. And then Placido Polanco scored Nick Green on a base hit to tie it. But look at this. Bruce comes gunning toward the plate, and they easily nailed Donovan Solano with a final out of the top of the third. We are 1-1 into inning number 6. And meanwhile, Matt Latos, wow, how solid has he been tonight?
Well, he's been solid not only with the fastball, but all of his pitches. That last strikeout you saw there came on an overhand curve. And 9 strikeouts for Matt Latos. No walks, 9 strikeouts. Boy, that has been pretty much a calling card of this starting rotation. Last night, 5 innings, 8 strikeout baseball by young Tony Cingrani. And Matt Latos picks up the torch from there. And he's in a tight one, though, 1-1 ball game.
He had 8 strikeouts his first outing of the year against the Angels. He has 9 tonight, so a season high. No decisions this year, but he's been the victim twice already of blown saves. That first one against the Angels, and then the last time out against the Pirates. He gets the top of the order here. Juan Pierre to lead it off. Strikeout victim not once but twice so far in this game, Pierre. That'll be a hit into right center. Choo's going to cut it off, but there goes the speedy Pierre into second, standing with a leadoff double. Hit number 5 for the Marlins.
Well, you got the speediest of the Marlins on the base paths right now on second base, and then you've got their best 2 hitters coming up in Polanco and Stanton. So in a 1-1 game, tough shot right here by by Pierre puts Latos in his first real jam of the night.
Let's see how he goes about getting out of this here. Deals with Placido Polanco, an RBI single in the third. The minimum he wants to do is hit the ball to the right side.
Yeah, and he's awfully good at doing that. We made a mention last night about how Placido Polanco is one of the toughest hitters in all of baseball to strike out. In fact, he's always on that leaderboard of a guy that doesn't strike out at all. In fact, this year he's walked 4 times and he has struck out only 2. So he makes contact more often than not.
2 and 55 at bat, so he's pushing 26, 27 times per strikeout. Well, look at him trying to go the other way.
Yeah, that's just smart hitting right there.
Down 2 strikes now. That's the go-ahead run. Pierre, he's out at second. Latos looking for his first double-digit strikeout performance of the year. Set down the first 6 he faced in the game. He's had 3 1-2-3 innings so far. Got himself in a bit of a jam here in the 6th. Comes at Polanco, hits it to right. There's the catch. There's the tag. Here comes the throw, and Pierre gets in there.
And a good matchup right here. Matt Latos, Placido Polanco, each of them have a job to do. Let's take a look at it. Mazda pitch by pitch. He's going to try to pitch him outside, try to force him to hit the ball, but under his own terms. Latos goes to 1-1 count, and finally Polanco gets the ball up, and he's able to put it into right field. Jay Bruce backs up, and as soon as he does that, the job well done by Polanco as Pierre moves into third base, 90 feet from scoring position.
Reds move their infield in now for Giancarlo Stanton, looking for his first run batted in of the year.
Well, he's handled Stanton very nicely his first 2 times up. Both strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. And he's just coming right after him. Stanton is the guy that the Marlins really have to decide whether they're going to build this team around him or whether they may trade him for even more valuable young prospects.
He's got a ways to go in terms of free agency. Stanton is not a free agent until 2017.
Well, that's one of the things that makes him so attractive to other teams and possibly in a trade. Unlimited power, great potential. Boy, you were able to control that outside part of the plate to a right-hander, and you can win a lot of baseball games.
Third of the way home is Latos. Goes a long way in getting through this inning if he can get by Giancarlo Stanton right here. 87 RBIs 2 years ago, 86 last year. He wants him to go fishing again.
Yeah, we showed you the swing he had in the first inning where Latos threw a fastball just off the plate and Stanton couldn't reach it. He just doesn't have the plate coverage on that low outside pitch. He stands very far off the dish. Unless he dives into the plate, he's not going to get to it.
To the shortstop, runner coming home. Here's the tag. Pierre lowers the boom on Hannigan, who hangs onto the ball. Took the brunt of the blow from Juan Pierre, the veteran. He gets up a little slowly there, a little limping.
I think it's the other way around. I think that Hannigan lowered the boom on Pierre. Even though Pierre had the momentum coming in, he's no big guy, Pierre isn't. And he really had no choice because Hannigan was blocking the plate, standing straight up. He realized that he's not going to get by him with a slide. He might as well try to go. And it was a good, clean play by both guys.
Hannigan ready to take the blow, held on to that ball, and that's exactly what Bill Welke came around here looking for, to make sure that Hannigan still had the ball. He did. The second out at the plate in this game defensively for the Reds. That play goes 6-2. Pierre gone. Stanton aboard with 2 out. Good throw also by Kozar. Mahoney's grounded out twice. Last time he hit it sharply to the mound. Nice pick on the backhand side by Frazier, who comes up firing. Nicely done by the Reds third baseman to retire Mahoney and send this game into the bottom of the 6th inning. Of the game since 1916, who are the 4 players with 24 plus walks in the first 16 games of the season? 4 players with 24 or more walks in the first 16 games of the season. You know he's one of them. Who are the other ones?
You know, I would have to say Ted Kluszewski would be one of those. He's a guy that walked way more than he ever struck out.
Yeah.
Now, whether he got a lot of walks that early in the year or not, I wouldn't know, but he would be one guess. Probably wrong, but it's still a guess.
Okay.
I hope these are players we've heard of.
For the most part.
Adam Pettijohn was an answer recently.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say?
One start for the Reds.
You could have gone all night and never guessed Adam Pettijohn.
I think he had 4 or 5 career appearances in the major leagues, and he was an answer to our trivia question.
Josh Hall is crazy with those questions, isn't he? He can come up with them now.
I'm blaming Joel Luckham.
When in doubt, is that one of those? Kozar to lead it off here in the home 6th inning. Got under this ball at 0-1. Stanton calls off Solano. Stanton makes the catch. Kozar 0 for 3.
Meanwhile, Kevin Slowey's having a pretty nice ball game. For a young man that didn't pitch but 8 games in AAA last year. He's coming out and he's thrown previously very good games for the Marlins, as you mentioned already, Jim. And tonight he's kind of picked up where he left off, giving up only 1 run and 4 hits.
He gets Votto here.
And his stuff looks very pedestrian, especially compared to last night when we saw Jose Fernandez throwing 98 miles an hour. Slowey tonight is topped out at 90. He's pitching more around 88 than anything else.
Jammed Votto there, and Pierre has the opportunity out in left. 2 out.
It's another example of being able to throw the ball to your glove side. And that's what Matt Latos has been able to do. And for a right-hander, the glove side is the first base side of home plate. So for 2 times in a row to Joey Votto, he's been able to get right inside on Votto, controlling that first base side of the plate. And that's what a right-hander should be able to do if he expects to be successful at this level.
Well, he's had just the 1-1-2-3 inning. That was the third. Worked around a 2-out hit by Bruce in the fourth. The 2-out double by Latos in the fifth. Now Phillips with 2 men out here. Well, you mentioned it earlier regarding Sloy. This guy has really been injury plagued, but 3 of the last 4 years. Last year, the rib injury. 2 years ago, bicep and abdominal injuries. 2009, he had wrist surgery. Spent a lot of time on the disabled list, a lot of time in the training room. He got himself elevated a little bit in this rotation. Nathan Eovaldi and Henderson Alvarez, 2 guys that were going to be in their initial rotation this year on the DL. He was going to be the number 5 guy, eventually got moved up, I think, to the number 2 spot. And they're starting 5. That gives a chance, though, for the young man who pitched here last night, Fernandez, and the young man that we will see on Sunday, Sanabria. Brandon tonight is flied out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. He's the league leader in multi-hit games, Brandon Phillips. He has 9 of them. Looking for his first hit tonight. Well, he wanted to call on that one, didn't get it. In the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 the score. Game 2 of this 4-game get-together. Brandon chases the breaking ball. He's a strikeout victim, number 4 for Kevin Sloy. A good one here through 6, even at 1. The first ever bobblehead of the flame-throwing left-hander that's coming up in May, Saturday, May the 11th. First 30,000 fans receiving a Aroldis Chapman bobblehead thanks to Cincinnati Bell. Tickets for that game. Reds will be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers that Saturday, May 11th. You can call 513-381-REDS. You can visit select Kroger locations, or you can go to Reds.com/tickets. That's Saturday, May the 11th. 30,000 through the gates. Aroldis Chapman bobblehead night. Speaking of the heater, there it is, right next to Xavier Paul, staying warm on the Reds bench. It's one of those kind of nights.
Xavier's from down there in that New Orleans area. He's not used to having this kind of cold weather.
Louisiana way, that's for sure. 7th inning now. 1-1 game. 1-5-0 Marlins, 1-4-0 Reds. Ruggiano is fanned twice. Lato's pitch count at 77. 2 pitches less than that, 75 through 6. Pretty efficient stuff.
He's a lot like Homer Bailey was the other night. Homer struck out 10 or so in that ball game, and he was very efficient with his pitches as well. Usually guys that strike out a lot will also throw a lot of pitches and run their pitch count up. But Lato's just attacking the strike zone.
And that Bailey start on Tuesday, 10 punch outs, 89 pitches in 8 innings.
Yeah. That's hard to do.
Lato's wanted that one, didn't get it. Ruggiano been a bit of a bright spot for Mike Redmond's team thus far. Here's a look at that last pitch. Got into that ball into center. Chu with a beat on it. And Chu handles it. Ruggiano, a pair of hits last night, 0 for 3 tonight. 1 out, 7th inning. If the Reds can win this game tonight, they start the day a half game behind St. Louis. It appears they will reclaim the top spot in the National League Central. Philadelphia leading at home tonight 8-1 over St. Louis in the bottom of the 6th.
No, it doesn't have anything on it.
Reds 9-7, St. Louis 9-6. Strike 1 to Brantley. He, like Ruggiano, a pair of strikeouts tonight.
That's Roy Halladay on the mound for the Phillies. 6 innings of 1-hit baseball. Jaime Garcia roughed up and out of the ball game after 3 innings.
It was Halladay who got right against these guys the last time out, wasn't
And
it?
even though he pitched very well against them, the Marlin folks will tell you it wasn't the Roy Halladay of old, but evidently tonight he's found his groove. That's a very good offensive club the Cardinals run at you.
Hannigan requests time and gets it as Brantley steps out. Making the point earlier about Brantley, highly touted catching prospect, 3rd round pick out of Cal Riverside just a few years ago. He's a 3-1. Nick Green, who has a pair of hits, waits on deck. Reds scored a run in the 1st. Miami equaled that with 1 in the 3rd. And on a 3-1 pitch, that is ball 4. The first walk given up by Latos tonight. Columbus Crew unbeaten in their last 5 matches and look to continue their streak tomorrow night. That's an 8:30 game against the Chicago Fire. Catch all the action on the home of the Crew, Fox Sports Ohio. Reds baseball in the afternoon. Crew soccer tomorrow night. Here's Nick Green. Singled, scored in the 3rd. Singled, stranded in the 5th. First appearance for the Marlins this year. Again, their guy at shortstop, Adeiny Echeverria, wasn't hitting much, but they really liked his play at short on the DL. Is Valleca going to get some time at short? This guy figures to get some time at short. You know, the Reds have been bitten by the injury bug this year, but boy, the Marlins have as well. 2/5 of their starting rotation we mentioned out. Guy that they thought was going to be at first base this year, Logan Morrison on the DL. The guy that they were going to put in there to replace him, Casey Kochman on the DL.
Little mix up right there. You can see Hannigan's going to run out right away. He was looking for a breaking ball. That was a fastball. He's saying, hey, big guy, I was lucky I got my glove on that one. Not even sure it was a fastball. It was just kind of a tweener.
I wonder if Hannigan puts the white out on his fingernails. We'll take a look here. No. See guys do that.
How about throwing over to first? I thought it was fingernail polish.
Was it? I thought it was white out. Who knows? Is it? Maybe it is fingernail
like you
polish.
use.
See any on me, baby. Of course I don't catch.
Come on now. A little manicure, not bad for you.
Trying to justify something?
Yeah. Get your toes done too.
Little pedicure.
You know, Green, you mentioned he's been around. I mean, he's a guy that broke in 2004 with Atlanta. He is on his 8th major league team, and he's only had about 400 games total in the major leagues.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has made the most of spot play.
He's alive here at 1-2. One of those guys like Derek Robinson is for the Reds this year. Decent spring, goes down to AAA, an injury occurs, and here he is in the big leagues. First trip ever regarding Robinson. Green, of course, as Chris mentioned, been around a while. A lot of them down there waiting for their opportunity. Robinson's made the most of his.
He has.
And it was good to see Justin Freeman get in the game on Wednesday prior to going back down to Louisville. Pitched that 1 inning on Wednesday. Gonna pump him up going back to AAA, knowing that he's got a big league game under his belt now. Into left, and that's going to be the 3rd hit of the night for Nick Green.
And he's hit them all in different fields as well. First time up, a little bouncer up the middle, right through the legs of Matt Latos, and a ball into right center field for a base hit. This one gets jammed a little bit, but he pulls it into left field for a base hit. So his hit chart looks pretty complete.
Green equals a career high with 3 hits. Last time he did it was 2009. He does it here against Matt Latos tonight. He has 3 of the 6 hits the Marlins have picked up.
Looks like they're shaking things around the Reds bullpen a little bit. Dusty Baker wants to make sure that this inning doesn't get away from him. You've got the pitcher spot up next, but there's been activity in the Marlins bullpen. So if Solano's able to keep the inning alive for the number 9 spot, they're going to go to the bullpen, probably bring Chad Qualls in and pinch hit for the Marlins pitcher. Looks like Hoover and Parra. Lefty righty combo in the bullpen for the Reds.
Now Solano in the hole, 2 strikes. He's hit the ball hard twice in this game. Singled in the left. Lined out to right. He was gunned down on that hit to right field by Polanco in the 3rd that would have given the Marlins the lead at 2-1. Latos would love one on the ground right here to get through this inning. His 95th pitch misses. Ball and 2 strikes.
Boy, Latos wanted that on the call of the pitch, not on the call of whether the hitter attempted to swing at it or not. He thought he threaded the needle right here. Maybe a little low.
They did appeal on that, as you said, and didn't get either call.
Yeah, they're getting the curveball over and over again. Solano is. They must think he's a pretty good fastball hitter.
2-2. Well, that time they come with a fastball.
Still a lot of zip on the fastball of Matt Latos, even though the next pitch is number 98. That last pitch measured 94 miles per hour.
Ryan Price looks on from the Reds dugout. Latos spot due up 5th in the bottom of the 7th. Pitcher spot, as Chris talked about, for the Marlins due next. Frazier will cut it off. His only play is to first, and Votto comes up with the ball. A little wide right on that. Joey adjusts, and they get the out at second base.
I wonder if Todd Frazier was a little bit distracted by the runner going from second to third. Brantley looked like he was going to cut in front of Frazier at first, and then realized if he did that, he's going to run into him. So he kind of went right behind him. Immediate safe call by the third base umpire. Good job by Votto to be able to get it and keep his foot on the bag. Watch this play right there going into the runner.
Greg Dobbs is off the bench. Started at first base last night. Dobbs will pinch hit for Slowey. The Marlins will employ a new pitcher then in the bottom of the 7th. Slowey 0-2 on the year. The only way he can get a win is if the Marlins get something here.
And we talked about him a lot last night about being a real good pinch hitter off the bench, and he's been a solid pinch hitter, as you can see, among active hitters, pinch hitters that is. First in hits, home runs, and runs batted in. Tough out right here for Latos.
He hasn't had to pinch hit much this year. He's been playing on an everyday basis.
What a great pitch right there by Latos. I mean, you come off the bench. One thing that pinch hitters do better than anything else, they hit the fastball, and they're ready to hit the fastball. So Dobbs thinks that is a heater coming, and Latos throws him a first pitch changeup. Great call by Hannigan and good execution by Latos.
Dobbs in the game last night was 0 for 4. He has a homer and 6 batted in on the year. Brantley at third, Green at second, 2 out, 1-1 game. Now he's got him in the hole. He's fired up, isn't he?
Well, he is, and he wants to get out of this inning. He wants to be a guy to nail a W down. The only way you're going to make sure you do that is get out of this inning.
1 out walk to Brantley, a single by Green. Ground out by Solano, advance the runners. Latos with his 102nd pitch forthcoming here at 0-2 to the pinch hitter Dobbs.
Boy, nasty little slider. So far in this at bat, Dobbs has seen a changeup, a fastball, both for strikes, and then a little slider that our Fox track says caught the bottom of the strike zone. I think Matt Latos would agree. Remember, you've got a base open, so there's no demand that you have to throw him something he can hit here. But you're still in command of this count with a 1-2 count.
Foul ball out of play.
Dobbs broke in with Seattle, played 3 years of part-time baseball with Seattle. Really was never an everyday player. The most at bats he's ever had in 1 year was when his first year with the Florida Marlins in 2011. It was the last year they called themselves Florida. He had 411 at bats.
Latos looking for the final out here in the 7th. Dobbs has wasted 2 pitches in a row. Pretty good ones from Latos.
Yeah, he's choked up a little bit too once he got 2 strikes on him. Just a hair up off the knob. Maybe a little bit more now.
Crowd coming to life here at GABP. Ian Hannigan now will go through the signs again. Swing and a miss, and the tag. Number 10 for Latos. He's all pumped up. Hustles off the field into the dugout. Bottom of the 7th upcoming. 1-1 score here at Great American Ballpark. Down for you with interviews from Reds players and, of course, comments and thoughts from manager Dusty Baker. That's Reds Live post game, brought to you by King's Honda in the King's Auto Mall. Visit King'sHondaUSA.com. What that last strikeout here by Matt Latos.
Well, a great look. Exmo version of this particular pitch. A big curveball, perfectly placed, low outside, courtesy of Munchin's Furniture, and blocked very nicely by Brian Hannigan right there. He picks the ball up, tags out Greg Dobbs, and man, oh man, the big guy's fired up.
Latos with 10 strikeouts, a walk, 10 strikeouts, gives up 6 hits and a run, and he can be the winner now. The Reds can score a run here, and we figure at what, around 105, 106 pitches, he has probably finished for the night.
I don't know. I mean, for a big guy like Latos, as good as he has been, of course, it'll maybe be dictated by what the Reds do in the bottom of this inning, but I wouldn't be afraid to run him back out there again. I can tell you one thing. He would tell Dusty Baker if this score remains tied, he'd like to go back out there again.
Well, as we said, he's due up 5th in this inning. That's what you're talking about.
This is one reason why I think nowadays in baseball, new pitcher Chad Qualls, former Houston Astro, Arizona Diamondback, Tampa Bay, San Diego, Philly, Yankees, Pittsburgh,
a little everywhere.
But you know what's one reason why it's harder and harder to find 20 and 22 and 25 game winners, because pitchers are limited by pitch counts from going deep into the ball game. You nail a lot of wins down if you can go 8 or 9 innings. When you start taking yourself out after 6 and 7, oftentimes the scoring's not over. And that's why you don't see so many starters with big time win totals. So maybe, you know, 18 wins now is or 20 wins is 10 years ago or 20 years ago is more like 15 or 16 wins now. What I'm trying to say is 15 is the new 20.
He'd take 15 again this year, particularly after 3 no decisions to get it started.
Well, 15 for Matt would be a nice thing. It'd be a career high.
Bruce took strike 3 there. He's out to start the bottom of the 7th inning.
It's another one of these front door that's a slider right there that just didn't slide very much. It kind of hung right there, and I think it fooled Jay Bruce by not moving very much.
Here now is Frazier. Base hit back in the 2nd. A wrinkle on that one gets him to swing and miss. Strike 1.
Yeah, he's a real workhorse, Qualls is. I mean, when he came up with the Houston Astros after his first year of just being a part-time pitcher, you know, he would pitch in 78 to 80 games seemingly every year. I mean, if you pitch in 80 games as a pitcher, you're pitching in half the games your team plays.
It's a lot of work right there.
And that doesn't include the innings warmed up down there.
As Jonathan Broxton throwing in the Reds bullpen. Frazier now get a look at a 3-1 pitch from Chad Qualls, 34 years old now. Relieving Kevin Sloy, who went 6, allowed a run, 4 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Can no longer be involved in the decision of this game. And the Reds have a base runner. With 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Frazier represents the go-ahead run.
Yeah, not an easy thing to do right there is walk Todd Frazier. He picks up his 7th walk of the season.
Here's Heisey. He's hit the ball on the nose twice in this game. Line to left, line to short. Frazier running, swing and a miss, and out at second base. Solano takes the throw. Frazier out.
He's telling him right there. He said, "Hey, Adrian Johnson, you missed that call. I was in there." And I think he's got an argument. I think he just outran this play. Oh, maybe not. Unless the shortstop Green tags him on his left knee, or that's Solano. If he gets him on his right foot, he's out. And our slow-mo will take a real good look at this. I think he made the right call.
Up with this ball from short is Green. He'll make the play. Heisey gone. And this one will head to the 8th. Will Matt Latos head on back to the mound? We'll see in a moment. Seven innings in the books, 1-1 the score. Both pitchers very sharp in this game. Matt Latos going to have another no decision. 4 starts, 4 no decisions. Although, boy, 10 strikeouts, 7 innings, 1 run on top of his game tonight.
Well, we said at the very onset, Jim, and we say it a lot, that the one thing the starting pitchers cannot control is whether you win or lose. All you can do is go out there and keep your team in the ball game, and Matt Latos has done that 4 times now.
How about 15 of them last year?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you get the kind of quality starts out there, you'll give your team a chance to win, and ultimately that's what you want. Obviously, you'd love to see Matt Latos get rewarded with a W, but you know what? If the ball club walks away with a win tonight, a lot of it will be due to the effort of Matt Latos.
Here's Jonathan Broxton to face Juan Pierre to start the 8th inning. Broxton worked in the game last night, the 9th. To keep this a 1-1 game. On the year, 7 appearances, a 9.5 ERA. Of course, all that blown up by that contest in Pittsburgh almost a week ago.
You may wonder about that last play of the inning, or at least one of the last plays of the inning. So the second out, Todd Frazier gets sent on the first pitch. Now, is it a hit and run or is it a stolen base? I got to think that that's a hit and run right there, that unfortunately Chris Heisey just swung right through it and kind of hung Frazier out there. I doubt that Dusty Baker's going to run Todd Frazier. I mean, he's not really a stolen base guy. He's only had 6 stolen bases in his career. So Reds trying to get something going with a good hit and run opportunity, but the Reds were unable to put the bat on the ball, and that's, you know, you can have the best strategy in the world, but if you can't execute the most basic things like a hit and run, it's hard to get any offense going.
Now, we saw Frazier look back. Is that an indication as well?
Usually is, yeah. I mean, if it's a straight steal, you're always going to be a little slower if you look back. It takes you out of your stride a little bit. That's why every time you want to find out where that ball is on the hit and run, and he did it just right. Frazier did, and in fact, he nearly beat it out for a stolen base. He has stolen 2 bases this year. He stole 3 all of last year. don't mistake him for Billy Hamilton.
Duly noted. Broxton trying to get the leadoff man here in the 8th. Double by Pierre's last time. 1 hit, 3 trips. He went around, says Bill Welke, and that is out number 1 here in the 8th.
Well, there's a big, big, big applause for that strikeout, because that is the 11th team strikeout the Reds have over the Marlins tonight, and that means everybody in attendance with a ticket is getting a free pizza.
Didn't that happen last night also? I think it did.
Yeah.
2 nights in a row. 3 of the last 4 nights. How about that? Pizza all around. Too bad Teddy's not here. I understand he's a pizza crazed young man.
That makes 2 of us.
Polanco takes a strike.
Boy, Broxton throwing the ball better tonight than he did last night. He came in and threw a 1-hit inning. There's 11 of them right there. A lot of them looking. Boy, when you have looking strikeouts like that, you've got good stuff going.
Broxton working against Polanco. His RBI single in the 3rd. The only Marlins tally of the night. Stanton waiting on deck. 1-1 in the 8th. Kozar on Novato for out number 2. Looking ahead now to the Reds' 8th. They'll have Hannigan, pinch hitter for Broxton, and then Chu representing the top of the order. Now what we're seeing so far here from Broxton tonight is what we're more used to seeing from him.
Well, I think he's a guy that requires often work. And one of the worst things you can do as a reliever is, spend too much time without getting into the ball game. It's always a careful line that a manager and pitching coach has to draw. How much is too much work and how much is not enough.
Phillips bobbles, recovers, got him at first. Stanton is gone. 0 for 4 in this game, and down in order go the Marlins in the 8th. To you by Miller Lite. How about this on the scoreboard during the half-inning break? suspect in the Boston Marathon bombing alive and in custody. Certainly the best news of the day.
Yeah, got the biggest round of applause all night long, too. Well deserved. Hard-working police, FBI, everybody else who worked on it, and it's nice to know that they got their man.
Big time moment indeed for our country. Now the Reds go at it here in the bottom of the 8th. Chad Qualls back to work. He had a 3-batter 7th thanks to that, I guess, controversial caught stealing. Frazier thought he was safe. Adrian Johnson thought he was out. It was a close play. Hannigan 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard his last time. Hits it into right center this time, but it'll hang up for Stanton. Bryant 0 for 3 and out number 1. Xavier Paul, whom we saw earlier, keeping himself warm near the heater, comes out of the dugout. He will bat for Jonathan Broxton. Chapman is throwing in the bullpen for the Reds. Time is called. Movement and action down in the Marlins bullpen. Mike Redmond to the mound. And that's going to be it for Chad Qualls. He'll go 1 1/3 with the left-handed hitting Paul being announced. The Marlins will turn to their bullpen. They have a lefty, Mike Dunn, the only lefty that they have in their bullpen. And Mike Dunn will enter the game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll step aside. Our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Bottom of the 8th here in Cincinnati. Of the game since 1916, who are the 4 players with 24 or more walks in the first 16 games of the season. You knew one was Votto, and there's the others. Chris said, are they recognizable names? Well, Mickey Mantle certainly recognizable. Ted Williams certainly recognizable. Max Bishop, questionable. Those are your answers. Mike Dunn appears for the 9th time this year, takes over to face the lefty Paul.
Well, he's the only left-hander the Marlins have in their bullpen, so they use him as that situational lefty. Once Paul got announced. And he's not a guy really that has been used like that throughout his career. He throws a fastball, not all breaking ball guy. He's got a very good arm. That last one at 94.
Paul had a lot of at-bats in spring training against left-handers, none so far this year. Last year with the Reds, he was 0 for 3 against lefties.
I mean, most left-handed situational guys, you know, the lefty one only guy, the loogie, is a guy that comes in with a kind of a slurvy, curvy thing, and you know that comes in to just get that one power hitter out. He comes at you with the hard stuff. There's a hard slider that goes along with that good fastball.
Chu waiting on deck. Lefty's hitting .214 against Dunn this year. Gets ahead and now misses 2 times in a row. 2-2. .233 against left-handers in his career. Reds haven't had a hit since Latos double in the 5th. Chapman in the pen. Now from 0-2 to 3-2 to Paul. Reds broke it open with 4 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th last night, en route to an 11-1 win over this team. Tonight 1-1 bottom of the 8th. Paul in the year hitting .294.
Well, really choking up a lot is Paul. Didn't help him.
94-mile-an-hour gas gets Paul for the 2nd out of the inning.
Nothing wrong with that fastball right there. Nothing wrong with taking a hack at it and just coming up empty.
Second straight lefty now, and Shin-Soo Choo. Tonight 1 for 3. Chased by Pierre, but out of play.
All inning long, the Marlins have played a prevent the double defense, with the corner infielders right near the line, making sure that none of the hitters will get it down the line for a double. Their outfielders playing very deep. See him out there near the warning track.
You never faced Dunn before. Now he, like Paul, is in the hole. 2 strikes. Take a look at our Nissan drive of the night. Came from Chu in the 1st inning. His first triple of the year that came against Kevin Slowey.
Well, the first batter the Reds sent to the plate hits a triple. You think at that point, wow, it could be another one of these big offensive nights for the Reds. But Kevin Slowey tightened it up big time from then on. That was the only run the Reds have been able to push across.
Votto had the sac fly to left. Chu scored, making it 1-0 Reds. Chu's triple, our Nissan drive of the game.
Sac fly by Votto on a 3-0 count.
Yeah. Little front door action right there. Chu back to the dugout. He is rung up for the 2nd time tonight. And we go to the 9th, still even at 1. Brought to you by Cincinnati Children's Hospital, ranking 3rd in the nation on the U.S. News and World Report's 2012 honor roll for best children's hospitals. And by Chevy. Visit your Tri-State Chevy dealer today and get great pricing on a brand new 2013 Chevy. Lazy River boat right there. Well, cool out there if you're on that boat tonight.
I would not want to fall into the river tonight. I'm not sure if there's ever a good night to fall into the river, but
cold out there, but hot in here with the flame-throwing Chapman in
well,
the
about to get a whole lot hotter right there if Aroldis is like he normally is. He'll start the inning off in the mid-90s with his fastball. By the time he gets that 12th or 13th pitch going, lately he's been up over the 100-mile-an-hour mark. 8 games, 2-0 record. He's not allowed much of anything except strikeouts.
Yeah, a couple walks, 13 Ks and 7 in the 3rd. Had a strikeout in all but 1 appearance this year, and that was that game in Pittsburgh back on the 14th.
Now, people that follow baseball regularly know that there's no save situation when you're playing at home beyond the 9th inning. So that's why Dusty Baker is bringing in the closer right here. This is not a save situation, but what you normally do is you go in the 9th inning with the best guy you got, and then if you go into the 10th inning, you don't want to bring him back. You go with the second best guy you have down the bullpen, and you work backwards from there.
He'll get Joe Mahoney, the left-hander, actually lifted now for the pinch hitter, former Red Chris Valleca, against Chapman here in the 9th inning. 1-1 game.
These guys were teammates.
Yes, they were.
At one point down in Louisville, right?
And 2 years ago here with the Reds. Valleca started at shortstop in the game last night, went 0 for 4. He's hitting .250 with 2 RBIs. He'll roll this one to Frazier. 1 out. Batter is Justin Ruggiano. Ruggiano tonight is fanned twice. Flied out. He's 0 for 3.
Ruggiano last night hit a home run on a high fastball, and he really turned on it. Pitch thrown by Tony Cingrandi. He had his best swing of the night tonight on a high fastball off of Matt Latos. And you can see the way he lays the bat almost parallel to the ground when he's ready to swing. He's already created an angle for himself to get to the high pitch. Anytime a guy practice swings high, he likes it up there. Of course, hitting a Aroldis Chapman fastball up there is a different story.
Ryan Braun does that. He has that high practice swing all the time. That's where he wants it, down in there. Rob Brantley, the catcher, left-handed hitter, on deck. Boy, the Reds can keep it in a 1-1 game going into the bottom of the 9th. They got a big part of the order coming up. Good eye there by Ruggiano. Reds have Cozart, Votto, Phillips. Anybody gets on, Bruce. That pitch was elevated. Hit toward left center. Chasing it out there and running out of room is the left fielder Heisey. A home run for Ruggiano, his 3rd of the year. And for the Marlins, only their 5th home run of the season. And they take a 2-1 lead.
Well, that's a stunner, but I said at the very beginning of the at-bat, this guy appears to me in the time that we've seen him, and it's not all that much. He's a good high ball hitter, and this ball is up in the zone, and that's the one he's waiting for.
First ever at bat for Ruggiano against Aroldis Chapman. And the Marlins have taken a 2-1 lead.
Ruggiano batted 6th last night. He batted 5th tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in a 3rd slot tomorrow.
So 5 home runs as a team for the Marlins. 2 coming in this ballpark, both of them by Ruggiano in this series. Chapman gave up 4 home runs last year in 71 2/3. That's the first he's given up this year. And now Steve Cishek, a right-hander, is up and throwing in the Marlins bullpen. Breaking ball floated behind Phillips. Brandon will get it. 2 out. Hitter will be Nick Green. Green is 3 for 3. Another one who's never faced Chapman before. Scored their first run back in the 3rd. Marlins are 1-6 on the road this year. Their only other road win that first weekend of the season, April 5th. They won 7-5 at New York. Chapman blows Green away, gets the strikeout. But the Marlins strike a blow in this game. A home run by Ruggiano. Coming up for the Reds, Cozart, Votto, Phillips, bottom of the 9th. Trailing by a run at 2-1 thanks to the Justin Ruggiano home run ball. Closer of the Marlins, who's not had an opportunity really to do that this year, is the man into the game. Right-hander Steve Cishek, Cishek, making his 7th appearance. A little submarine action right there for this right-hander so far this year. 6.75 ERA.
Well, he's a sinker ball pitcher, but he can really give you fits if you're a right-handed hitter with that sidearm delivery. You never really feel all that much comfortable in the batter's box. The fact that he can throw that ball so hard from the side-winding delivery makes him extremely tough. Throws it up to about 94, 95 at times. Chris Valleca, utility infielder, will take over at first base.
Yeah, toward what you're saying, a .091 batting average against right-handers.
Yeah, I mean, wow. You don't see that many guys who throw sidearm #1. Then you don't see that many who can throw 94 or 95 from down there. Also has a pretty good slider.
He's into the game here to get Cozart to lead it off. Reds down by a run here in the 9th inning. Cishek saved 15 games for the Marlins a year ago. Remember, they had Heath Bell. They brought him in to close games, and he just had a horrendous 2012 for Miami. Cishek, one of the many pitchers who had an opportunity to move into that role. Struck out over a batter an inning last year. A lefty Votto on deck, and that's a different story regarding this right-hander. They've been able to make a pretty good living against him. Up over 400 this year. In the hole, and that's going to be an infield hit. Cozart aboard. That's the tying run on to start the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, that was a ground ball that was perfectly placed in that 5.5 hole. You had the third baseman snugging towards third base, trying to take away the double. So you hit a routine ground ball that would normally be 2 steps to the field by the third baseman that goes for an infield hit. So the tying run on first, the winning run at the plate.
Here's Votto. Has not been on base tonight. That's news, because Votto, coming into this game, had been on in all 16 games the Reds have played. He has a homer. He's driven in 4, 1 tonight. We talked about the difference between lefties and righties against Cishek. 091 against righties, but over 400 this year against lefties. Tying run, Cozart. Oh, 0-2 to Votto.
We've seen Joey Votto take some swings tonight that we've never really seen him take very much at all. I mean, he looks very fooled by that pitch. Time to regroup.
Lead-off infield single by Cozart. Held over there by Valleca. Votto represents the winning run. Reds trying to get it done in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 2-1. Votto strikes out for the first out of the inning.
right up the ladder on him, did Cishek, and kind of an unusual fastball because when you throw it from that low of an arm angle, it almost rises on you. Votto unable to get on top of it.
Now it's Phillips. Funny, the only Reds player that has a hit against Cishek in his career was the guy who's at first base, Kozar. Meanwhile, look at this, Phillips. 6 go-ahead RBIs this year. Right there, the tops in the league.
Yeah, that's a clutch hitters leaderboard right there.
Another lefty and Bruce on deck if the Reds need it. Phillips 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Tied for the league lead with John Buck of the Mets in RBIs, although John Buck hasn't driven many in here as of late. Two and one. Marlins take the lead on a Justin Ruggiano home run in the top of the 9th against Chapman. Now the Reds trying to battle the way back here in the bottom of the 9th. Phillips, high fly ball to center. Sounded good off the bat. Ruggiano makes the catch. 2 out. Now it's Jay Bruce.
Now they had a good swing at it. It looked like he got it on a sweet spot, but he knew right away. Just missed that baby, maybe by a quarter of an inch, and hit it high into the air in dead center field. It did sound good coming off the bat, but no carry tonight.
So 2 out. Marlins the only team in the big leagues that do not have a save. They're looking for one here, trying to save it from Mike Dunn. Bruce lines this ball to right, but unfortunately right at Stanton, and the Marlins get a home run in the top of the 9th by Justin Ruggiano, and even this 4-game series at a game apiece as they win by the final score of 2-1 over the Reds. Boy, Bruce caught that ball, unfortunately, right at the right fielder. So the Reds a winner last night. Marlins a winner tonight. Let's take a look at our John Morrell hot dog play of the game. Justin Ruggiano long ball, his 3rd of the year. Comes on that high pitch as Chris talked about against Aroldis Chapman.
Well, back-to-back nights he goes deep. He accounted for the only run the Marlins had last night. He accounted for the winning run the Marlins had tonight. A high fastball. He turns on it. And he's our John Morrell hot dog player and play of the game.
Final score 2-1 Marlins. Reds Live post game presented by Kings Honda next.